confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 1,938, with 33 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 13 additional cases were reported and no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's Wednesday, the first day of September. More than 80% of eligible Californians now have at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine in their arms. Governor Gavin Newsom says that ranks us at number 9 in the country and number 1 among larger states. California is the nation's most populous state, and while this is a notable milestone, Governor Newsom says we still need to reach out to those who are on the fence about the vaccine. Data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows more than 48 million doses have been administered throughout California. That's more than in any other state. More than 643,000 shots were given out in California just last week, a 44.7% increase compared to mid-July. This comes after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's full approval of the Pfizer vaccine for those 16 and older. California saw 5 straight weeks of more than 500,000 vaccines administered. About 65% of eligible Californians ages 12 and older are now fully vaccinated. A nursing shortage in California is reaching a crisis point. Medical experts say COVID burnout, a constant lack of supplies, and the state's new vaccine mandate are all contributing factors leading many nurses to quit. California Nurses Association spokesperson Rochelle Pardue-Okimoto says nurses are not staying at patients' bedsides when they feel unsafe, and protective equipment for critical care nurses always seems to be in short supply, making many of them afraid for their lives. Safety in the workplace seems to be the primary concern. Okimoto says nurses are available but need acceptable working conditions in order to either stay or come back to the bedside. National Nurses United, the largest organization of registered nurses in the U.S., says another issue is a lack of proper medical staffing to treat very sick patients. They say the country has not experienced a nursing shortage, but rather a shortage of nurses willing to risk their licenses or the safety of their patients by working under the unsafe conditions the hospital industry has created. An attorney with the California Hospital Association says all of their hospitals are experiencing staffing problems. They have fewer personnel than at the beginning of the pandemic and more patients. For nursing jobs alone, vacancies have increased 96% since August of 2019. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is urging Americans to stop taking an animal dewormer to treat or prevent COVID-19. The agency has received several reports of people taking the drug called ivermectin and putting their health at risk. They tweeted a humorous plea writing, quote, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." The FDA also published an article explaining what ivermectin is and why people should not take it. The drug used to treat or prevent parasites in animals has become popular lately, with humans self-medicating themselves with it and ending up in hospitals needing medical support. The FDA says animal drugs are often highly concentrated because they are used for large animals such as cows or horses, which can weigh a lot more than humans, and such high doses can be very toxic in humans. An overdose can lead to a long list of problems, including allergic reactions, nausea, seizures, vomiting, and even death. The FDA says this particular medication is not an antiviral drug and not approved for treating or preventing COVID-19. The first batch of Golden State stimulus checks should now be in the bank accounts of hundreds of thousands of Californians. The state distributed the $600 checks to taxpayers who made $75,000 or less a year. That's about 600,000 direct payments worth an estimated $354 million. The state will send out another round of stimulus checks in about a couple of weeks. Combined with a previous stimulus program to assist people who make up to $30,000 annually, California should provide up to $15.2 million to California households, reaching about 2/3 of the state's tax-paying population. The stimulus payments are part of Governor Gavin Newsom's economic recovery package approved by the state legislature in July to help families who have been struggling to pay bills during the pandemic. The coronavirus recession is pushing Social Security 1 year closer to running out. New projections this week indicate that Social Security's massive trust fund will be unable to pay full benefits in 2034 instead of last year's estimate of 2035. For the first time in 39 years, the cost of delivering benefits will exceed the program's total income from payroll tax collections and interest during that year. From then on, Social Security would tap into savings to pay the full benefits. The U.S. economy lost 22.4 million jobs in March and April of 2020. Employers brought back 16.7 million jobs since April 2020, but the labor force is still 5.7 million jobs below where it was before the pandemic hit. On a more positive note, the depletion date for Medicare's trust fund for inpatient care remains unchanged for now. It is still estimated to run out in 2026. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen issued a statement saying, quote, "The Biden-Harris administration is committed to safeguarding these programs and ensuring they continue to deliver economic security and health care to older Americans." Social Security pays benefits to more than 65 million Americans, including retirees, disabled people, and survivors of workers who passed away. And Medicare covers more than 60 million older and disabled individuals. Together, both programs make up more than 40% of the federal budget and act as a stabilizer for families as well as for the national economy. One big box chain is hoping to get an early start of bulking up its supply chain workers for the upcoming holidays. Walmart announced plans to hire upwards of 20,000 employees to help keep merchandise moving ahead of the anticipated holiday rush shopping. The company says the jobs will be a mix of full-time and part-time positions ranging from order fillers to freight handlers at the company's more than 250 distribution, fulfillment, and transportation offices. Walmart says the average wage for a supply chain associate is $20.37 per hour. Special hiring events are expected to be held on September 8th and 9th. In an effort to retain and incentivize employees, Walmart also began paying special bonuses to warehouse workers and announced 100% of college tuition and textbook costs for team members would be covered. The company also ramped up supply chain investments, such as adding high-tech automated systems to select stores that help pick and pack online grocery orders. In August, Walmart saw a strong demand for back-to-school supplies, luggage, and apparel. An investigation is underway where fake students in California may be trying to get financial aid or COVID-19 relief grants from community colleges. The potential fraud involves bot students enrolling in courses at the California community colleges system. Officials suspect that this is all a scam to obtain money from currently available financial aid resources. The 116 campus system noticed that 20% of recent traffic on its main portal for online applications was malicious and bot-related and has since increased its internal reporting and security measures. Thankfully, the community colleges installed a new software that detects such automated behaviors, and about 15% of the suspicious activities were caught using this technology. Chancellor Eloy Ortiz Oakley says at least 6 campuses have reported an unusual spike in enrollment attempts involving fake students. They're looking into where these activities are coming from and how many colleges are involved. Rock star Gene Simmons is the latest KISS member to test positive for COVID-19, pushing back the group's next 4 tour dates. This comes right after KISS co-founder and vocalist Paul Stanley tweeted that he just recovered from the coronavirus. The band and crew are expected to remain at home and isolate for the next 10 days. 72-year-old Simmons is an outspoken supporter of COVID vaccines and vaccine mandates. The group previously stated that all of its members and tour crew are fully vaccinated. The band also released a statement saying doctors have said they should be able to resume their tour beginning with the scheduled show at the 5-Point Amphitheater in Irvine. KISS expects to return to that live stage on September 9th. As children head back to school, medical officials are advising families to get their flu shots early this season. With COVID-19 still lingering, experts say getting the flu vaccine could help keep kids out of the hospitals and emergency rooms. While the U.S. has not seen a lot of influenza yet, the CDC says that could change quickly. And with children back in the classrooms after learning remotely for a year, doctors say children are the distributing franchise for influenza. Experts say as they get sick, they bring the virus home to the family and spread it among neighbors and within their community. According to the CDC, on average, the U.S. sees between 9 and 45 million cases of the flu. And while last year was no average flu season, with the flu practically non-existent in the U.S., with only a few thousand cases for the entire year, the twindemic, with a high number of flu and COVID-19 cases, are what experts fear will happen this season. Doctors say a flu shot and a COVID-19 vaccine can be given at the same time with no medical reason to space them apart. Health officials say continuing to wear masks, keeping good hygiene, limiting social gatherings, and restricting travel can all help prevent not only getting COVID-19, but also spreading the flu. One of the Torrance libraries will be closed today and tomorrow due to some plumbing issues. El Retiro Library, located just south of Pacific Coast Highway at Vista del Parque, will be closed until Friday. Library staff anticipates the South Torrance branch to reopen on Friday for its normal operating hours from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Torrance has a handful of other library locations people can visit during this time. To see a full list of hours and locations, as well as to access online services, just log on to torranceca.gov/library. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Well, September marks Coastal Cleanup Month, and here in Torrance, Saturday, September 18th, 2021 will be proclaimed as the annual Coastal and Community Cleanup Day. The city will partner with Heal the Bay and California Coastal Commission to participate in the largest volunteer day in the world, raising environmental awareness within the community of the detrimental effects that trash and marine debris can have on our environment. Through the Torrance Cares program, the city will host 3 hybrid community cleanup sites at the beach, parks, and neighborhoods. Organizers are working to make this a safe and socially distanced event, and the first 50 people to sign up will receive limited edition t-shirts. For more information, you can email cddinfo@torranceca.gov or contact the event coordinator at 310-618-5864. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Bella Shaw brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.